Dryland, day 9, starting off week 3. Keeping kind of with this pattern, we've got mostly legs today, a little bit of shoulder and back as well. I think those two go hand in hand pretty well. Very, very similar to last week. We do have some new additions. We've got towel deadlifts. So you will need a towel. I would suggest a beach towel, a little bit longer. It's going to be easier. A little variation into our working set for the goblet squats because we're adding in a front raise. You'll see what that looks like. We're adding in Bulgarian split squats and what was the last one? Maybe that's it. I think that's all. And then our conditioning session, our cluster 2, we're going through 4 times rather than 3, and then we're extending some of the duration on the ankle mobility. Okay, so as we are slowly gaining that mobility in the ankles, we want to keep pushing it a little further. We're going to start today with something that is not on the workout, but I think it'll be beneficial for you guys, especially for those of you struggling with the difference between a squat and a deadlift, and you'll see the differences here. This will also help you keep a nice, strong back as you go through both of these exercises. Okay, so what you're going to do, you can grab any kind of straight pole. I'm sure some of you, if not all of you guys, have a broom at home. That would work. Basically, you're going to make 3 points of contact. Here you go. Right above your butt, around your hip area, low back, your shoulder, and your head. Those are the 3 points of contact. You're going to keep them on the broom the entire time. Okay. First one we're going to go through here is the squat. Now you'll notice that in the squat, I'm trying to keep my back nice and straight. See how that broom stays in all 3 points of contact all the way. Now again, on the squat, my butt is dropping low, and you can see I'm emphasizing here that my knees are what is bending here, okay? So that hinge is at the knees here. Obviously, core stays tight always. That is what's keeping you against the pull or against the broom. That's what's keeping your back and the rest of your body in line. Now here I'm going into the deadlift, and I pointed it out there. You're thinking about moving your hips back behind you. See how my knees, my legs stay a little bit straighter here. My butt is moving back rather than sinking down, right? So the hinge is at the hips, or a hip hinge like I was talking about. Again, as we're hinging at the hips, we're keeping those 3 points of contact, keeping a strong back. And then you can see here, I'll do a mock like I've got a barbell squat. So I've got it up on my shoulders. See how my back stays nice and straight. My shoulders are flexed in our preferred position. And again, I'm bending at the knees there for the squat. My butt is sinking down. And now here I'll demonstrate a deadlift. Again, my butt is staying higher and going back behind me. The legs are staying a little bit straighter. And then with both the squat and the deadlift, maybe I'll show you guys from the side another time, but you can see that the bar moves straight up and down. So yeah, run through that if you're having a little bit of trouble. Here we go. We're going to go into our goblet squat with front raises and our towel deadlifts. The goblet squat with front raises, you'll see here, just a little bit different. So it is sort of an ISO movement because you'll be at the bottom for a little bit while you go through your raises. You'll see that in a second. And then the towel deadlifts, you see that it's 3 times 3 times 3. So you're doing 3 rounds of 3 reps, and each rep you're going to do at 3 different stages. So here's our goblet squats. Now notice I keep the weight out in front of me rather than tucked to me. When I get to the bottom of my squat, I am raising each arm above my head. Big thing here is stay tight in the core, okay, so that you're not rounding your back when you go down. Now you'll see it out here. I'm staying tight, getting that isometric hold down at the bottom of the squat, and then raising up the jugs above my head for that front raise. I would suggest, especially for you guys with the 8-pound dumbbells, I would suggest going to milk jugs and filling them up just a little bit. To get comfortable with this. If you're feeling strong, you can try the 8-pound dumbbells, but I would suggest starting with the jugs. Next, we're going into our towel deadlifts. Obviously, as a swim coach, I've got that Speedo towel. What up? Again, I'd prefer a beach towel. It's a little bit longer. You are going to step down onto your towel. Try and get the tension in the middle of your foot, so you're not just stepping on it with your toes or with your heels. Right on top of the towel. Now we've got three phases here. So we've got low, which is going to be right above the ankle. You've got medium, which is at mid shin, and then high, you're going to be right at your knees, maybe a little bit below your knees. Again, we are not rounding. Just like we just practiced, we're keeping that nice, flat, strong back, protecting our spine. Okay. So again, we're down at the bottom. You're holding, you're pulling, trying to push through the ground with your legs. Okay. So you're holding the towel statically and then trying to push through the ground. So we're not trying to pull up with our top half. We're trying to push through the floor with our bottom half. Again, we've got low, medium, high, trying to imitate pulling straight up. All right, and then Bulgarian split squat. You are going to need a bench, a chair of some sort, preferably about knee height is where you're going to want this. Mine is maybe a little bit low. But you're going to adjust yourself. You got 1 foot up on the chair, 1 foot out like you're in a lunge or split squat position. You're going to grab your dumbbells. And again, just like any kind of squat, it's basically like a single leg squat. But that foot is up on the chair. Just like any time we are squatting, I know we've talked about this, but I'll remind you again, your knee needs to stay in line with the track that your toes are making. Okay, especially on these single squats and lunges, when you're going single leg, it is very easy for that knee to start sneaking inwards. All right, keep that knee in line with your toes. When it starts going in, you're putting too much pressure on like your ACL and the other joints or the other tendons in your knee. So keeping that knee in line. Again, we're using the weight on that one. If you haven't done those before and you would like to start without the weight just to get the form down, that is totally fine. Do what is safest, but those should really complement the rest of the workout here. I think for me personally, I get a really good feel in my butt and in my quads, which is what we are looking for. Yeah. So again, we are going into the ankle mobility after that. Keep working on those ankles. It's going to be huge for those of you, again, that feel like you've got pretty strong legs, but then you get into the pool and you struggle with the kicking. Getting that ankle mobility down is really going to help that. And again, that's one thing that we can be doing now when we're not in the pool that is going to directly correlate. Also, with this ankle mobility, the ankle mobility set is one thing that you can do while you are studying or while you are doing some homework. Okay, set up your computer in a way where you can sit down on your heels and read a book or do some homework on the computer. Just trying to think about some strategies for student athletes where we're combining what we're doing. All right, so anytime that you are stretching, there are ways in which you can be studying as well. If you need to do these workouts where you read like a page or a chapter and then you do some of the workout and then you read a page and a chapter and then some of the workout, that works too. I know that studying for long periods of time can get exhausting, so doing little breaks, whether it's the workout or whatever, can help with that. Breaking up that study time and breaking up the workout time to help balance it out is totally fine. Again, you guys do not need to be doing these workouts right when they're uploaded. And with only uploading 4 workouts a week, if there's one day that you are really heavily taxed on homework or studying, just save the workout for another day and focus on your studying. Again, you are a student athlete. Student comes first there. We did a great job with grades last year. I'd love to see that. I think we've got an upward trend. That is awesome. You guys are doing a great job. Let's keep it going. And I think this week is going to be a great week for us. All right.